All right. Well, welcome back to another Elevated Marketing podcast, where we discuss simplified, complicated, where we simplify complicated subjects to make your business grow on digital marketing. And my name is Jennifer Denny. I am the owner of Elevated Marketing Solutions, owner, founder, whatever you want to call me. There's a couple things I'd kindly ask you not to call me. And today I have with me
Brenna Jackson.
Welcome to the show. Brenna's with us every week. It's her and I now, man. It's our do or die here.
Yeah, dynamic duo.
I think both of us have motor mouths, and we can just talk about just about anything.
Pretty much.
And today we're going to talk about how design, which is right up Brenna's alley, influences the cost of advertising. So before we do that, our fun and quirky question: are you a morning person or a night person?
I am definitely a morning person. Anymore, I am in bed by like 8:39, and that's pushing it. Like,
You're on Jennifer's schedule now.
I know.
Like your mornings when before the email like rush comes in and everybody, I'm
Yes.
like, that time is so precious to me.
That block between 6 and 8, it's like my zen time.
Glorious, like, don't bother me. Like, yeah, I'm definitely going to bed at like 8:30, pretty much 8. I'm going to bed. But when I go out, like maybe on the weekends to my friend's house or something, I can stay up a little bit later, but I feel bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Oh yeah. I'm 25 and my friends are like, she okay? How old are you?
No, I am a responsible adult and I get things done. All right. So I feel like more than anything, I'm going to be interviewing you today. But I just want to preference that, it's again not a complaint that there is a lot of design that needs to be made in order to have effective ads. It's more of just recognizing the time and energy that goes into it, and ensuring that you've got that mixed in, just like we talked about yesterday. I mean, or last week, is to be successful with ads, you need great creative, but you got to test that creative, and so it takes time.
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into the process before the creative is actually made. But a lot of times those list items are, in correlation with other setup tasks.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of killing multiple birds with one stone, really, not just two. But
our person that runs ads and our creative that makes the creative, they've got to be, talking with each other, because one of the things is creating content for different audiences. So if you have different service lines or different products, you probably have different audiences. And, there's time invested to create that creative for those different audiences.
Yeah. The audience research is important, not only for a targeting standpoint, but also the creative, because when it comes to messaging and even the graphics, we have to know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
we have to speak their language.
For sure.
So what's the next one?
So creating content and creatives for different parts of your funnel. So we're, top of funnel, bottom of funnel. Who are we talking to? We know the audience, but more specifically, how familiar is this audience? Are they familiar at all? That's, where we're hitting there.
That's your top of funnel. So they don't know who you are. They've never met you before. The type of things that you would say up there is one thing. And then there's bottom of the funnel, which is, I've interacted with you before. Now I need a reason to buy. And just to kind of launch ads, you probably need 4 to 5 ads for both the top funnel and bottom of funnel. And so that's 10 different ads, but then there's several more elements that get added to that. So what's next?
Yes. So for most platforms, you need different formats of those ads. So let's say example, if you're running Facebook and Instagram ads, maybe
Mm,
you're creating a square single image or a video. That's great. That 1080 by 1080, that's going to work fine for some placements, but there are other placements where you need to create different sizes. So think reels and stories. Those are different sizes. So just different formats of those ads also have to be created, which in essence kind of doubles the number of graphics you're creating.
yeah, and you do more than likely need video at the
Mhm.
top of funnel because, with some of these cutoffs of data, creating video at the top of funnel means that I can remarket to people who have interacted with that video. And it really is like even simple movement is the best way to kind of grab somebody's attention and get them to stop scrolling, which is the first thing that you're really battling.
Yeah, it could be as simple as an animation and some
Yep.
movement of text or an element here and there. Yeah.
So already, we're driving up, just creative cost and not creating for different audiences, for different parts of the funnel, for different formats. What's the next one?
Um, Different creatives for different marketing channels. So think Facebook/Instagram, think LinkedIn, think Google Ads, multiple
TikTok.
different, yep, TikTok. How could I forget the most the channel out there? Yeah, I mean, different channels have different audiences. And so some of that messaging may change a little bit across those channels. And we just need to be mindful of that.
Yeah. I mean, you said pre-show, like the style
Mhm.
that you would have for a TikTok video and the ad copy and everything is going to be different than what you might do over on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. Just again, keeping in mind the audiences that are more prominent on those channels.
And then Google Ads, you have short and sweet
Mhm.
copy. So, you can imagine now like how many different versions of everything has to be made, in order to get out there. And so you've made the creative, now you put it out there and the data, if you can't get somebody to stop scrolling, then Google and Facebook will look at that and they will say that you're not engaging with the audience and they're not liking your creative. So we're going to charge you more for those ads. And you start driving up costs because you need to go back to the drawing board and make more creative.
That's, yeah. I mean, especially on social platforms, people are there to be social. And so if you aren't getting that engagement, then you're definitely going to take a hit on, your cost.
And even if you do a really good job, people get tired of seeing the
Mhm.
same ad over and over. And so there's ad fatigue. So all ads probably need to be at minimum switched out once a month, if not more.
Yep. Which leads into a process that we have of creating a set of ads and then also creating a backup set of ads.
Yep. Yep. And you're testing like different messaging and you're testing that. So there's just constantly creative that's being made, like we said, for different audience, for different parts of the funnel, different formats, different channels,
Mhm.
different styles. Like it certainly adds up quickly. So,
I
I mean,
think I think we actually may have forgotten something on the list.
yeah.
Creating content that's also reflective of the landing page.
Yep.
There are times when that landing page may change, and
Yep.
so kind of restarting that process.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. So, I mean, in a real short and sweet, if you can't grab somebody's attention with your advertisement, that's really going to cost you because you've
Mm-hmm.
put a lot of money out there and resources to create it. And so that creativeness needs to be there. And I think sometimes people do get stuck in that where, oh, well, we've always done it this way, or we've always done that. And it's like, you got to be different, not the same.
Yes. If you do your homework, you're setting yourself up to have the resources needed to be at your creative best.
Yeah.
You can be really creative and just not have the backstory to some things. And that's, ultimately going to increase your costs.
And the hardest part of being creative is it's not on a time clock.
It is not.
You can't
Unfortunately,
just
there
say,
is no
well,
switch.
it's time to be creative. Let's go ahead and do this right now.
Yes. Yeah. It's finding inspiration at random times. That's a big thing that I have. You should see my notes app.
Well, these shows help me be creative.
Mhm.
All right. Is there any other last minute things that I am not thinking of?
I mean, other than communication, you kind of said it at the beginning, the one who's running the ads versus the one creating the ads, there's got to be communication there.
Yeah.
Communication all around.
Yep. Or it's going to drive up costs. Don't die on me. All right. Well, that wraps it up for this topic for now. We really appreciate you listening. Certainly subscribe by touching that button on YouTube, or rate and review the podcast wherever you are listening. All right. And we also have our newsletter. If you can't get to these weekly, we have one on LinkedIn and then the website as well. And we are on all the socials. All right. Take care.